Hello dear student. In B.Ed course 107 Pedagogy of School Subject English, unit number is about pedagogical methods, approaches and techniques for teaching English subject. In this one, pedagogical methods are different one. When a teacher is about to teach grammar, then in what way grammar has to be taught to the student, it should be learned by the student teacher. Before it, let's learn about the types of grammar and some differences of grammar. Grammar is said that it is an ornament of language. Here are some types. Grammar is nothing but the empirical rules and regulation of a language. Grammar has two types: formal grammar and functional grammar. Let's see what is meant by formal grammar. It is prescriptive in nature and is taught in a formal way. The grammar, which we have been studying since our school days. Right now, even we are studying about this type of formal grammar, where parts of speech, then tenses, then sentences, direct, indirect, change the voice. These are the types of such formal grammar. If we see at functional grammar, what is meant by functional grammar? It is descriptive or incidental in nature, where grammar of the language is picked up unconsciously. Means, when you are at school, when you are among with your friends, when you are at society, when there is speaking, when there is communication, at that time we use such type of language, and language is always meaningful one. Language is the vehicle of idea, so that while speaking with the person, we like to follow grammatical rules, but these rules are followed by us unconsciously. Means, with intention, we never choose particular sentences or the pattern of sentences, but unconsciously it is done by us. This is the short and transparent difference between these two types of grammar. One is prescriptive, whether second one is descriptive or incidental. Informal grammar, second point is it is theoretical and gives preference to the rules. If you are the student and if you are there for grammatical operations, then you need to follow the theoretical knowledge. You must have the theoretical knowledge, and on the basis of the rules of particular topic, you will have to attempt for grammatical operations. Means, change into indirect speech, change the voice, then make it comparative degree, make it superlative degree, or whatever grammatical operations are given, these should be followed by rules only. Whereas in functional grammar, point tells us that it is practical and takes into account that grammar grows and changes from time to time. Means, every time we should not stick with specific unit of grammar. As per the time goes, we will have to change ourselves, we have to change our pattern, we have to change our degree, and we have to use such type of words or sentences in our day-to-day communication. The point number 3 of formal grammar, it is ability to describe the language. See, in this one, What kind of abilities language has, it is totally described by the grammar. In what way, where we have to use grammar, what kind of tense or tenses we have to learn, in what way we have to change the degree, and in what way we narrate the situation, or in what way we have to draft particular essay, particular letter. Everything is followed with this grammar. Whereas point 3 tells about functional grammar, it is ability to use the language. Sometimes it happens that we are good at English language, we are good at writing skill, but sometimes we came across with the difficulty that we are not good at to use English language perfectly with the current situation. So that in what way we have to use English language. It is the ability. Functional grammar means it is the ability. It's the ability of person. He can handle every situation or he can face the situation by using his knowledge of English language. In formal grammar, point 4, it is grammar of rules. In formal grammar, there are rules and all the rules are universal one. Or you may say that, means if you are in India, if you are in Maharashtra, and if you want some grammatical operations to be done by the students, then student can refer any kind of books, whether they are in Tamil or we may say that if the mother tongue of student is different, it doesn't matter, but grammar of English language never change. So that in functional grammar, it is grammar of use. In what way we have to use the grammar? In formal grammar, point 5 tells us that it is an artificial way of learning. Artificial way of learning is short, means it is third language for us. Somewhere it is first language for the students, those who are studying in English medium. But as far as students from non-English background, they have to try for learning of such type of language, and it is artificial way of learning. But in functional grammar, it is natural way of learning. Sometimes when we are there, suppose we don't have the knowledge of other foreign language, but if we are living with the people, those who speak foreign language, we can easily understand by the practice, by the consistency, or by the imitating. Likewise, functional grammar, it is a natural way of learning. Sixth point of formal grammar, it is the second step in language. And functional, it is the first step in language. Means learning of language, you will have to try for learn it, then try to learn the language, grammar of particular language. But in this one, students are directly forced to use functional grammar at their real life. Then it is taught at later higher stages. Means grammar, means if we start teaching article, then it goes higher level. Tenses are there, degrees are there, clauses are there. Means these are some grammatical topics where all students are ready to learn according to their age group. And this functional grammar is used or taught in initial stages of the learning, the student who study in English medium. In formal grammar, 8 points deals with acquired through teaching. This grammar, it can be acquired through teaching. It's every day we have to teach, every day we have to prepare for it, every day we have to memorize all the rules of that one, and if there is break in practice, then we are about to forget the rules of this type of grammar. But in functional grammar, This is acquired through imitation and observation, so that when we are about to imitate and we are about to observe, then we never forget such type of learning of functional grammar. Then formal grammar is the master here, and in functional grammar is the servant. Means for non-English speakers or students, they have to get the mastery over English language, and they must know each type of grammar, grammatical operations, subtopics, and they must be much familiar. But here, all the students or learners are much familiar with the concepts, much familiar with the sentence construction, much familiar with its operation. So that in formal grammar, it is rigid and fixed. Rigid and fixed means what? We cannot change the rules and regulations. All the rules are fixed over there. There will be no violation of rules of grammatical operations, so that it is rigid one. But in functional grammar, what happens? It grows and changes, or rather adapts to new setting and new trends. Somewhere means instead of using all the lines, all the sentences, we never stick to the traditional way of learning. We have to change ourselves, we have to change according to the situation and new trends. So this is some differences between formal and functional grammar. The importance, you may say the need, you may say the benefits of grammar. Why should we learn grammar? It has high utilitarian value for the student. The student who wants to learn English language, he must have the command over such type of grammar or grammatical operations, so that he can be a perfect speaker of English language. So that it gives deep and thorough knowledge about structural details of the language. Like what is language? Language is nothing but the structure. There are many structural details, many structural stages are there, so that we have to get command over these structures, and after getting the knowledge of basic structures, we are really the part of this type of learning language. It also helps to use language efficiently and correctly. Sometimes all the people, they like to observe you, they like to point out to you, because if you are speaking good language, if you are committing mistakes, then they will point out to you. But if you are really following the grammatical rules, then people will praise you. People will definitely recognize you that you are the good speaker of English language who never commits mistake while speaking, while narrating, while drafting, or etc. It also helps to resolve difficulties and doubts. Really, it resolves difficulty and doubts, acts as a preventive and corrective medicine. Because if you are the beginner of this language, if you are a new learner of this language, so that first of all you have to follow the rules. In what way I have to make good use of particular tenses, good use of grammatical operations, in what way I have to speak, in what way I have to learn, in what way I have to address. All these things are definitely learnt by the learner, and this language or this type of grammar helps to link ideas, thoughts, and produce unity in thoughts. If there is creation of thoughts, but it requires grammar to present it. It also helps to simplify, codify, and speed up the language learning process. Sometimes it is also seen that if you want to learn new language and if you are getting good command over the language, then you kept continuing your learning of language, so that it helps to boost your confidence for learning a foreign language. Thank you, dear student.